Food production and globalization. Although the term globalization wasn't used until the late 20th century to describe the international connectivity of the post-Cold War world, the food industry is actually a sector that had been under such a trend for centuries. Today, more than ever, globalization has had a tremendous impact on the food sector as it evolved alongside our societies with new opportunities and challenges related to a newly connected world. The growth of food production. The food sector actually started globalization centuries ago with the spice trade. Back then, spices were extremely sought after commodities, and an expedition to bring back a full ship could make someone rich for life. The spice trade, along with other goods, had connected regions of the world way before global economics, and as such, it also had political repercussion. For example, in 1090, the Seljuk Turks blocked the spice trade to monopolize it and sell it at high rates, which was a leading cause in the beginning of the First Crusade. Later monopolies by the Ottoman Empire also kickstarted world exploration and the discovery of America. As we can see today, food production is in constant rise due to the rise of world population, but also other factors that are caused by globalization. The food industry is now dependent on scientific advances, but also to political factors, as the recent Ukraine crisis has illustrated. The production and cost of food has direct ties to many sectors of the globalized world, including armed conflict. Cultural impact. Food has also undergone cultural transformation due to globalization. Firstly, due to a rise in immigration due to the facilitation of travel and the birth of the global work market, food cultures are the first thing transported by immigrating population in their new countries. Over the last century, specific food cultures such as Mexican, Japanese, Chinese, North African, and American are now widespread in the world. You can find food from many different cultures in the supermarket or in specialized restaurants. Food identities also merge to create new cultures, such as American food taking inspiration from native and Mexican food in the south, and from European food in the north. In Europe, food culture has also grown a lot due to immigration, with North Africa for France and India for England, Turkey for Germany, and so on. But globalization also means that there is global competitiveness for these cultures. Oftentimes, the most profitable is the most widespread. As such, fast food and other poor quality foods have undergone a surge in popularity because of big corporations, oftentimes leaving local production to the side. These new solutions are fit for a faster lifestyle, with more time for work, less time for cooking and consumerism. For produce, it is also common to import fruit and vegetable from overseas, thus creating carbon emissions and more inequalities because of the working conditions, despite the presence of an already existing local agricultural industry. The problems of a globalized food market. A globalized food market also creates new problems. For example, ever since the end of World War II, obesity has been a major health problem in developing and developed countries because transformed and industrial food is cheaper and more accessible. It is often the leading component of many people's diets. The ubiquity of ready-made meals and fast food has dropped the quality of eating drastically over the last years, which is costing a lot of money in healthcare and is among the leading causes of death around developed and developing countries. Another huge problem is food waste. All in all, a third of all the food that is produced is going to be thrown away because of overproduction and a lack of respect for food. China is the top food waster per household, while the US is the top food waster per capita. As we can see, this is mostly among developed countries that can afford to throw away food. At the same time, world hunger is back on the rise, while food waste keeps climbing. This is the result of a globalized world in which the wealth inequalities is necessary to keep the machine going, and it is causing a great deal of pain and more hungry people.